I'm ready when you are, sir.
Alright. Once upon a time, there was 3 little pigs and a big bad wolf. They won't be appearing in the story. But who will be appearing in the story is Goldilocks. She's about this tall, maybe a little shorter, maybe about this tall. She's got blonde hair and probably brown or blue eyes. Basically, she is standing in court one day for breaking and entering, and there's a story behind this. It's called Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. One day, Goldilocks was walking along in the woods, kind of like this, and then she saw a little house. It was kind of like built into a wall of dirt. It was a cave. She goes into the house because they left the door unlocked for some reason. I mean, they live in a pretty safe neighborhood. I mean, on the other side of the woods, there's all these game warfare going on. Like, there's these 2 little pigs, and they're called the 3 Pigs Brothers gang, and there's this rival gang, the Big Bad Wolves. They actually took one of the Big Bad Wolves, dragged him into their house, and threw him into a pot of boiling water, and they told the police he tried to come down the chimney, but they threw him in. Anyway, so their part of the woods is pretty safe. And they're in church, because they're pretty good bears, whereas Goldilocks is out skipping church and breaking into people's houses. So she goes in, and they got rushed out that morning, so they left their breakfast on the table, which was oatmeal. Now, Goldilocks is really picky, so she goes to the oatmeal, and the biggest dish belongs to Papa Bear, so she tastes it and she thinks it's too hot. Then she goes to Mama Bear's and thinks it's too cold. And then she finds a little tiny bowl belongs to the little Baby Bear. He's actually not a baby anymore, but everybody calls him Baby Bear. It's just something from his childhood. He's like 15, but anyway. So she tastes the porridge, it's pretty good, and she eats it. She doesn't eat a lot, she leaves it like half full because she doesn't eat much. And then she goes in, watches her TV for a while. She sees 3 little chairs. Actually, one's not little, it's Papa Bear's big recliner. He sits in that like all the time. He gets home from work, and first thing he does, go down and sit in the recliner. Then there's a rocking chair. It's like kind of old. It's kind of an heirloom passed down through Mama Bear's family. And she sits in that a lot. And then Baby Bear's kind of got a futon. He likes the futon. And so she tries the big recliner, and she kind of like sinks down into it. She's kind of small. So she like sinks into it. Then she doesn't like it. She tries the rocking chair, and it creaks every time she rocks back, so she doesn't like that either. Then she sees the futon, she sits on it for a little while. But what happens is she knocks over a table, which in turn had a candle on it, and the futon catches on fire and it explodes. And eventually the futon is destroyed. So, you know, she's like, well, I don't want to deal with this. So she goes upstairs. There's 2 rooms. She goes in one, is Mama and Papa Bear's room. The bed is like, so she tries the bed. Papa Bear's side, she tries first. She doesn't like it because there's like hair all over it and it's nasty. She goes and tries Mama Bear's side, and it's just too soft. Something about it. So then she goes into the other room. And there's this bed made for Baby Bear. He's about 15, so it's the right size bed, so she goes into it. She goes to sleep. Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear come home about an hour later. She's still sleeping. She completely fell asleep. She was out all night, the previous night partying and stuff. And so she's a little hungover. And then they go in the house, but they notice the door's open, so Papa Bear is like, alright, you guys stay in the car, so he's going to go check it out. So he goes in the house, Mama Bear's sitting in the car, she's dialing 911 on the cell phone, because you know, doors open. Who knows who's in there. Anyway, Papa Bear looks around in the house. There's no one in there. Not that he sees. He forgets to check Baby Bear's room, so he goes out and gives them the all clear. And police come by a little while later. They don't find anyone, because they miss Baby Bear's room too. So they go up there, and then Baby Bear walks in. He's like, hey, there's someone in my bed. So he's like, what are you doing in my bed? And Papa Bear goes in and calls the police again, and that's how she ended up in court. The end. They all lived happily ever after.
Okay.